Hey, welcome to Mixin' Business Mom. I am physically and emotionally exhausted because I've had two sick kids almost all week. My son started feeling better on Thursday, and so he went back to school on Friday, and then he went to the office and they wouldn't send him home. Like, his teacher thought he was coughing too much still, so she sent him to the office. They wouldn't send him home. So I got kind of annoyed at that, and was kind of trepidatious about taking him to school today. Anyway, I'm just gonna give you all the deets about, how miserable this week has been, so that maybe you can avoid some of the pitfalls the next time you have sick babies. So let's get started. Okay, so what did mommy tell you?
When I don't feel good at school, I have to tell the nurse. My mom said if I'm not feeling good, I have to go back home because I'm sick.
Because I've been sick.
Because I've been sick.
Yeah. Okay? I don't want you to just sit in the nurse's office. And if she says, well, let's just see how you feel, what do you say? My mom doesn't
want me to stay at school while I'm sick. I have to go home.
There you go. Thank you. I'm so sorry that you've been sick, honey. I love you. So apparently if you're late, they give you a tardy slip that's like blue, and it's a whole thing you have to go through the office. And my child did not like that because he is a rule follower. Bless his little heart. So he asked us to say a prayer that we would never be late again. So now it's back home to the other baby that's still very sick. Lots of congestion, lots of misery. And the only reason I could have a drop-off without her is that Daddy's still home asleep because of his work schedule. So not really helpful until he wakes up. Okay, tip number 2. Now, this is useless for my child. Totally useless. If we tried pouring that down her throat, it got all over her clothes. So this is the only thing that I would recommend using for even past toddler age. If you've got stubborn non-toddlers, 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds, this is really great. Get it far back in their mouth, just like the thermometer when you're taking their temperature, and just squirt it in there. And yeah, so that's tip number 2, tools of the trade. And I would recommend doing medication a little bit earlier than I did it, because we were miserable for a couple days because mommy was like, no, they'll be fine. They were not fine. Okay, so tip number 2 had to do with accepting they are sick. We should medicate this, especially if they have a fever. And you can use herbal or whatever kind of medication. We used herbal for the first couple of days and then switched to Tylenol when there was a fever happening. So ironically, tip number 3 has to do with keeping a long-term perspective. Yes, accept that they're not okay right now, but know that they are going to be okay. That positive parental attitude is going to go a long way toward keeping their spirits up too. I'm not perfect at this, even just barely last night. I haven't been getting very much sleep, and baby girl is making not just the sound that she's making now, but just constant crying. Had to move her into her own bed, but then big brother couldn't sleep on his bunk bed, so he had to come in with me. So I take her in there after trying really hard to comfort her, and she was inconsolable. So I took her in there, and I knew she was gonna have to cry herself to sleep. So I come back in my room, and my son's sleeping in my bed with me, and I was just crying, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry, my son. And he started crying, and that was not conducive to us getting to sleep. So I should have held it together better. So hopefully you can make a better situation for your kids. I recommend some music, since I am your resident music mom. Mix and Business Mom is also a music teacher. And to give an example of that, I shall now play you some classical, lovely music that might help you keep your spirits up. If you're more of a punk rock gal or parent, that's okay too. Find your favorite song and try to keep your positive attitude even while you're sleep deprived and annoyed that they won't stop crying. And I wish you the best of luck, because I've been trying and failing for days, and hopefully my next video will be something that I've conquered. But this one is just something I'm doing my best at. Enjoy the song. Don't enjoy their sickness, because that would be wrong. But enjoy the song.